Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Shinrin Yoku, and Yurt Life, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Saturday, March 9th, around 7:45 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. Join us in just 15 minutes over at Magnetic Reversal News for an amazing expose on climate science propaganda, volcanic eruptions and cooling, and a so-called ice-free Arctic. Keep calm. It's boom time. Northeast braces for cold snap, dangerous winds, and snow squalls. Cold, harsh winds, snow squalls, and possible power outages will sweep across northeastern United States from Sunday to Monday with heavy snow accumulations in the mountains. And a storm to bring several inches of wet snow and wintry mix and rain, coastal flooding to New Hampshire is the same culprit. With weekend weather, snow is coming for northeast Ohio, and they need it. With hail in central Baldwin County early Saturday morning, anyone's guessing about the severe weather in the south. But we're not guessing about the levels in the reservoirs in California, which were once claimed to be going dry forever due to climate change. Every single reservoir above the historic average but one, San Luis, and it's approaching that. Almost all of the reservoirs above the historic average in a big way. That's good news for the so-called drought in California. Here's the full forecast. Severe thunderstorms and flash flooding across the southeast. Snow for the interior northeast. A storm system will push from the eastern Great Lakes into the mid-Atlantic and northeast this weekend. Widespread rain is expected with snow forecast for portions of the interior northeast. Severe thunderstorms are possible Sunday and Saturday across the southeast U.S. with damaging winds as the main threat, but some isolated large hail and tornado are possible with the stronger storms. The good news, it looks like that those storms are pushing off in just the next few hours. So in 6 hours, there should be no more severe weather threat for the southeast. But take a look at the northeast. There could be some thunder snow in the cards for New England, as well as thunder and rain showers for New York, Philadelphia, and the tri-state area. And on the back end of that, you can see that heavy snow and another system moving into the Pacific Northwest. Let's take a look at those snowfall totals. You see the March models are quite epic, showing heavy snow, maybe even another nor'easter towards the end of March. So let's walk this through just the next 5 or 10 days. Here is Saturday through Sunday. You can see that heavy snow dumping in the high elevations of New Hampshire, Vermont, the Adirondacks, and Maine, up to 16 inches in places as 16 inches begins to dump into the Pacific Northwest by Monday morning. By Monday morning, snow will move into the North Sierras and dip down into the Rockies all the way down into Colorado by Tuesday, and the system is lining up to bring us what appears to be some heavy, heavy snow through the end of next week and the beginning of the weekend. Here's the beginning of next weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. More snow potentially coming to the northeast. But the system down here in the South San Juan still showing strong numbers, 2 feet or more for many of the regions just outside of my door. Good news. Shut up, Al. Get in your hole. Al Gore is not happy about those snow totals. Seismic update. Interesting rumbler today in South Carolina, 2.8 in Elgin. This is a normal activity there. Several earthquakes per year. Dozens have happened over the last few decades, and several much larger than 2.8. The most recent quake in the U.S., a 3.5 in Petrolia, California, probably rattling some nerves there, as well as a 3.3 in Virginia City, Nevada. No other quakes of note. We did have a small cluster of activity here in Chile earlier today, but that seems to have quieted off. Close eye on the Reykjanes Peninsula shows very quiet activity, low-level seismicity, and no imminent threat for an eruption. Speaking of eruption, take a look at Ibu. In Indonesia, explosions continue quite beautifully. Look at that thin little jet there of ash. The eruptive activity, in fact, continues at Ibu. The volcano's behavior is characterized by a combination of near constant, moderate, and sporadic, strong Vulcanian-type explosions from the caldera's cinder cone, as we can see here. A couple other things of note. Piton de la Fournaise Volcanic seismic unrest on the increase through the first week of March. Fuego to 16, Sangay to 20,000 today, Nevado de Ruiz to 22,000, Popo to 21,000, and Santa Rita to 15,000, and that sums up the worldwide volcano report. Space weather news at SolarMax, the sun is completely quiet in the B range. The latest HMI intensity showing a few pinprick sunspots that are doing nothing, and the sun appears to, well, be going blank. Holy macaroni. We've been waiting for a low-level geomagnetic storm today, but nothing is on. Where are we? Nothing is on the horizon. And here, if we take a look at the Discover solar wind, the telemetry is looking all quiet. There was a little perturbation just an hour ago, but it didn't amount to much. In fact, the KP indices are remaining low, and there is no evidence of geomagnetic storm this evening. Now, a paper coming out yesterday, the role of interdecadal climate oscillations in driving Arctic atmospheric river trends, shows that not all papers blame humans on climate change. In fact, the multi-decadal oscillations of the oceans, whether it be the Atlantic, Pacific, the ENSO cycles in general, are the main driver of climate, not you. And we'll get to that in greater detail over at Magnetic Reversal News in just a moment. Superconductivity Scandal. You've heard it all. We've reported on it here. The inside story of deception in a rising star's physics lab. Ranga Dias claimed to have discovered the first room temperature superconductors, but the work was later retracted. An investigation by Nature's news team reveals new details about what happened. In fact, it's so egregious that he published another paper and claimed another false narrative that was also retracted. Yes, nearly 2 years later, that paper was retracted, but not long after, Diaz announced an even bigger result, also published in Nature, another room temperature superconductor. And people in the alternate science community ran with it. But unlike the previous material, the latest one supposedly worked at low or modest pressures, raising the enticing possibility of applications such as superconducting magnets for medical imaging and powerful computer chips. But Diaz is now infamous for the scandal that surrounds his work. Nature has since retracted his second paper, and many other research groups have tried and failed to replicate Diaz's superconductivity results, proving that all of it was a fraud. Now, some researchers say the debacle has caused serious harm in the science community, and I agree. But it is the CIA's operative to make sure that every piece of information that you know is completely false. You want to know about the facts? Join us at the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange, where like-minded people join each other to survive and thrive in the future, the dystopian future that we're all living. This is all about community rising up and sharing knowledge and sharing resources. The theme, Wild Foods and Medicine of the Valley, is so appropriate because wild harvesting and wild crafting is the future, in my opinion. Leah and I will be giving a talk at 12:30 on the first day, Saturday, March 30th, on the medicinal properties of hops. And there is native hops all over the San Luis Valley to go get in abundance for all of the people that live there for free. And we'll be talking about all the medicinal properties and where you might be able to pick up some of the native hops in question. If you don't have time to get to the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange for free seeds, check out our affiliate here, the Alliance of Native Seed Keepers. We just did 120 orders in the last 24 hours. Let's continue to blow these guys up. They added new stock. We dropped this down to $190 yesterday, now up to $304 in stock. The cheapest prices for open pollinated non-GMO seeds on the internet, $2 per pack. Free shipping with a $25 order. And if you put in our coupon code 2024ORP, you get an additional 10% off. How can you go wrong? And don't forget to join us over at Magnetic Reversal News in just a few minutes on our expose on climate science propaganda, false headlines, false narratives, fear sells. We'll also talk about the geomagnetic excursion and how it may affect weather, volcanic eruptions and cooling, and more false narratives on an ice-free Arctic in just 10 years. Holy macaroni, a lot to consume there. And that is a boom to knowledge. Please share this video as we are shadow banned. We need your help to grow. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do. Go over to Alliance of Native Seed Keepers and buy some seeds to become more self-reliant and support the channel. And we'll see you in just a minute over at Magnetic Reversal News for the most important scientific update of your life. And that is a boom. Hit the thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. Be safe. We love you.